Breaker Crunchers, welcome to issue 61 of Couch Crunchers, where everything you're about to witness, hear, see is just an illusion. Don't think anything you're about to see is real, because it's probably not. I am Max the Gamer Guy, and with me is Lance, our list master. Say hi, Lance.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, thanks for joining us, Lance. I don't know. I feel like we're just kind of going straight into him being list master now instead of the series sergeant. His lists have just been on point.
I know. How many have I done? Like 20 the last couple weeks?
A lot.
It's ridiculous.
I've been out of the loop for a little bit because I was out in Europe, and just like Spider-Man is in Europe, I was as well. And let me tell you, if you listen to the episode that Sam and Tyler did a little while back, I have comments. So Tyler was telling a story about how this chick came up to them and was like, "Can I have your boxer shorts? Can you give me your boxer shorts?" And she did it to like all the guys in the group except for him, and he was super offended that he didn't get a girl to ask for his boxer shorts, even though he didn't want to give them to her anyway. I had one person taking my wife aside, asking me for my underwear to come off. So I have got Tyler beat. Doesn't matter that it was the masseuse. I had someone ask me to take my clothes off, so I got you beat there, Tyler.
Oh my gosh. Is it okay that I don't ask either of you to take your boxers off?
Yes, that is totally okay.
Yeah.
I just realized we have chat disabled for the live stream. Oh well, if anyone wants to chat with us, I guess we can't do that this time.
Why is chat disabled?
I don't know, but it is, and I'm not really sure how to fix it while we're live streaming. So I'm sure it can be done. I just don't know how. Anyway,
all right. So what are we talking about today, Max?
Well, Jay, I'm getting there. So the first thing we're talking about today is doing our fab or flub. If you don't know what that is, it's a segment where we discuss the headlines and we talk about whether or not we think they are fabulous or flubulous. The first one is Power Rangers is going to be rebooted. The 2017 version is now going to be rebooted, but with different actors. So they're not doing the same cast. They're doing Power Rangers again in the future, but with new people. What do you think?
I'm not happy about this because the last movie ended with such a cliffhanger, and there were things that I did not like about the Power Rangers reboot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the casting, I loved the casting of the initial Rangers, right? So you have Dacre Montgomery, I think is that his name from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
He plays the Red Ranger. Then you have the kid from Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl playing the Blue Ranger, who is slightly autistic, which is awesome in my opinion. And then you have.
Are you talking about Max?
No, Billy.
Oh, sorry, we're not talking about Stranger Things anymore. Okay,
no.
Sorry.
We're talking about Power Rangers, right?
yes, you're good. Sorry, I was just watching Stranger Things before this.
So Billy,
our chat's on now.
Yeah, right, I turned it on.
Oh, okay, you're smarter than me.
Billy, the actor, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but the actor that played Billy was fantastic. Did you watch the reboot, Max?
Oh yeah. I've got it on my Vudu account in 4K. I think it's really good. It's not the best, but I really like it. It was cast extremely well. Jasmine as the Pink Ranger was really good.
Yeah, Naomi Scott, I think is her name.
Naomi Scott is her name, and I don't know the actors' names other than her because now she's Jasmine. But yeah, the guy in Stranger Things who was the Red Ranger was great. Every one of the actors was awesome. So I think this is a massive flub.
Yeah, zero complaint. R.J. Seiler was the Blue Ranger, and he was fantastic. He's probably the highlight of the movie, in my opinion. Elizabeth Banks, I could have done without.
Okay, she was bad, but she doesn't need to be in it again. I thought Rita was the worst part of the reboot.
Right.
But the actual actors were good. Zordon was good. Like, the story was okay. The action was cool. Like, it felt like Power Rangers, but it was cool. Like, I thought it was done pretty well.
Updated.
I liked it.
It was updated, and I would have liked to see where they could have went forward with it. But we know with Saban selling the Power Rangers rights to Hasbro, is it? Hasbro has it now or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
We knew that there was going to be changes, and it's just unfortunate that once again, something's given to us and they don't complete the story or whatever. I still have kind of a sore spot when it comes to like the Divergent series, where they made us go through 3 or 4 movies, I forget how many, and it just ends, and then like, oh, because the last one didn't do well, we're not proceeding with it. And
yeah, that stuff sucks. I hate when that
yeah,
happens.
I hate when they do that, because you've gotten invested. Like, I'm invested in these characters. Like, give me some sort of fan service. It's a shame when they film these movies and they don't guarantee that there's going to be a beginning, middle, and end. If you don't know if you're going to continue, then give it a complete story, and then potentially maybe you can have other stories later. And I don't know.
I would argue Power Rangers has a complete story. I think Power Rangers fits into that. It just teases more at the end. I mean, we don't get the more, but I would say that Iron Man 1, because they didn't know the MCU was going to work, it was a complete story. You know, it wrapped itself up. It could have been all by itself, but it had a tease. So I agree. I don't like that they're rebooting this movie and they're talking about it 2 years after it came out, when it was good and it made pretty good money from what I remember. I see no need to reboot this. I think it
made a ton of money in
China, right?
Merchandise.
Oh, merchandise. Okay.
They sold a ton of toys.
I thought it did well overseas too.
It did well in China, I think. Not as good as like some of these Marvel movies and stuff, but it did well in China. But really, what they were saying, the reason it would get a sequel is because of the merchandise sales and how well it was doing with merchandise. It's the same reason that they keep making Cars movies. Nobody really goes and sees Cars movies, but the toys sell like hotcakes, right?
Yeah.
Cars is not a good movie.
Well, like, Cars is a good movie. I disagree with you on that.
No.
The first one was really good. I didn't even see the second or the third.
It's talking cars I can do without, but they sell a ton. They sell a ton of toys. A ton of toys. It's one of the highest selling. You see with these movies that come out, they the toys come out when the movies come out, but there's always Cars toys available. It's kind of like Ninja Turtles. There's always Ninja Turtle toys available because they're always selling.
Well, you know what else is always available, Lance? 2 things. One is, on this episode, especially without Tyler or Sam on here, there's always Forehead available on screen. So for you listeners, there's always Forehead available.
We're sorry if we're blinding you right now.
I was just looking at the camera and I saw nothing but bald on you, and then half bald on me. I'm just like I'm holding on with my dying breath here.
Thanks for pointing out my flaws there, Max.
Well, the other thing, I love you, buddy. The other thing that never ends, that keeps going on and on and on, is the Fast and Furious franchise. And Charlize Theron and Helen Mirren have been confirmed to reprise their roles in Fast and Furious 9. And I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm mixed on this. I'm going to say flub for the most part. Not for Helen Mirren, so I guess we can make it 2. So flub for Charlize Theron, fab for Helen Mirren, because I liked her character. I thought. You know,
what
she was Jason.
Did she play?
She's Jason Statham's mom.
Oh yeah. So
she
she's
was
going to be in Hobbs and Shaw quite a bit, huh?
Probably.
You think? Yeah, probably. I would assume so.
And I think she was a lot of fun. So I'm totally down to have her in. And it's not that I'm against Charlize Theron, but what I don't want to have happen again is all of a sudden she's a good guy. Like they had Jason Statham and Luke Evans. Both of their characters were bad guys. And then they both come in Fast and Furious 8 and they're helping. And they're like good guys now all of a sudden.
Okay, that pissed me off because Jason Statham killed Han.
I know.
And
I still haven't stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't forgiven him for killing Han, dude.
Like, and Luke Evans' character freaking enslaved Letty for years.
Right.
Like psychological torture on her. And like now they're buddies. Like
it makes no sense.
I know, like these movies are supposed to be silly, and so for the most part, I don't care. I can give it a pass. Like Fast and Furious 8 was a ton of fun. Jason Statham putting the headphones on Vin Diesel's baby, on Dom's baby, and like shooting up people in the plane was one of the coolest scenes in the movie. It was hilarious. But I'm okay with them doing it once. You've got one pass on this, but I'm afraid they're going to bring Charlize Theron in, and all of a sudden she's a good guy now. Now, if she's like got a small cameo where they're like doing something with her at the beginning, because I can't even remember how the 8th one ends. They catch her, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe she breaks out of jail and they like are catching her again at the beginning of the movie or something. I'm okay with that, but I would hate to see her like play a big role again, because I kind of thought her character sucked as far as Fast and Furious villains go. The last 3 villains were far better than her. Fast and Furious 8 as a whole was a fun movie and I liked it, but I didn't really enjoy her character.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess it doesn't bother me as much because they're stupid movies. I mean,
and they're meant to be. It's PG-13 Die Hard.
You and I, this is like a bonding thing between you and I, are these Fast and Furious movies, but they're stupid. Like they're seriously like popcorn flicks. Like they have no substance. They're nothing. That's why it's kind of ridiculous that like people are so pissed about this new Hobbs and Shaw movie, because
I think it looks awesome.
It looks awesome because it's giving me what I want: explosions and stupidity, right?
Yeah.
The Rock is sitting
there
The Rock is
pulling a freaking helicopter out of the sky,
which he ripped off Captain America on that one. But
yeah, he's buffer than Cap though.
Yeah, but Cap has the super serum.
Okay, fine. Chris Evans, he's buffer than Chris Evans. If you saw The Rock and Chris Evans in a fight, Chris Evans would have his jugular ripped out.
But they gave the bad guy Idris
Elba.
Yeah, they gave him like superpowers,
which I think is fun. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, but for something that was supposed to have a sense of reality to it, I think
they got rid of reality. From the 5th one on, there's been no reality. Like them like pulling that vault all around the city and it's spinning around in circles and knocking cop cars over. And then in the 6th movie, they've got this runway that they're getting, they're taking down the plane on. That's the longest runway in history. I'm pretty sure that runway went on for like 50 miles worth of movie. Like, it's not realistic at all.
But they haven't delved into the, magical superhero, like...
You're right, but then they had zombie cars
stuff.
Jumping out of windows in the 8th one. You're right. This is it, but like I think that's kind of the point. They're continually making it more and more ludicrous.
Ridiculous.
And you see like these I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's this meme where it's got like, F it, there's dinosaurs now. And it's like Fast and Furious 40 or whatever. And it's got them like with dinosaurs blowing fire out of their mouths.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, like it's just,
Fantastic.
It's meant to be ridiculous. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Kyle says they're super awesome. It's junk food for the brain. And I totally agree. Also,
hey, Kyle's
what's up,
on?
Grizzled Geek? Yeah, it's Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah,
Grizzle Geeks on too? Did I hear Mike from Grizzle Geeks on?
Yeah, he's on there.
How come I can't see the chat?
You've got to monitor the chat, man. I'm moderating today. This is your job, buddy.
Yeah, but
no, I agree though. Freaking Fast and Furious is just ridiculous fun, and Hobbs and Shaw looks amazing. I've got my seats all reserved. I was this close to buying the D-Box for them because Lance and I saw John Wick 3 in D-Box at the Cinemark by me. Freaking cool. So much fun.
Which pisses me off because all I've been trying to do is find one in Arizona, and it's about an hour or 2 away.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. When you're here in November, we'll have to see something.
Yeah, I really wanted to see Spider-Man in the D-Box seats, and
I almost went yesterday and saw it in D-Box, but then I decided to go see Stuber instead. But anyway, we're on the Fast and Furious. So I what do you think about Charlize Theron? Is it a fab or a flub for her to come back?
I mean, if she comes back as a good guy, that sucks. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Flub, I guess, just because for the simple fact of give me something new. Yeah. And here I am complaining they gave me something new, and I'm complaining about it in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I think Hobbs and Shaw looks fantastic. It's just the dumbest thing, and that is what is the best about these movies. They're dumb.
Kyle wants to know your thoughts on Stuber.
Okay, so brief thoughts on Stuber. So if you read the review on our website, Tyler gave it a 5 out of 5. I think that's a ridiculous score. It's a really good movie. Not really good. It's dumb and it's fun. I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a fun time. The jokes are really funny. The action's pretty good too. There's kind of like a social message in it, but it's not like shoving it in your face. And it's a message that I agree with. So I guess maybe that's why it didn't bother me too. But like, it's just like this message about toxic masculinity and the main character, like not wanting to, like he like says it's okay to cry and just, it's kind of going over these like ideas of what being a man was in the 80s as opposed to what it is now. But it's kind of subtle for the most part. But yeah, Stuber was really good. Dave Bautista is like blind the entire movie, and it's hilarious to see him bumbling around, knocking into things. And then the Uber driver, I can't remember the actor's name, but he's really funny, and it's a good time. It's fun. I want to see it again. I would totally. I think I'll buy it. It's funny. It's a good time. I'm looking forward. I will say this. There's a scene in the strip club, probably one of the funniest things ever. And if you have ever seen, what is that Reba show? Maybe it's called Reba.
Van?
Yeah, it's called, Van is in it.
Yeah. It's called Reba, dude.
Yeah, it's called Reba. Yeah. Reba, so Van is in it. And it's his part is pretty funny. The part in the male strip club is absolutely hilarious.
I'm looking forward to it. Anna and I both like Kumail Nanjiani, I think his name is.
Is that the actor's name?
Yeah, and I'll watch anything with him. He's in this show called Silicon Valley, and if you haven't seen it, it's one of the best shows that HBO has, and it's gone on for like 6 or 7 seasons. It's a fantastic show. And him and Martin Starr, who is the professor in the new Spider-Man movie, they go back and forth with each other throughout this entire show, and it's absolutely hysterical. So the professor from Spider-Man plays like
the teacher.
The teacher, yeah.
Okay.
The one that's always like checking on him and he has a thick beard. His name's Martin Starr. He plays like this anarchist character on the show that like only wants like the government to like just fall down. And Kumail Nanjiani is like this very like straight edge kind of guy, and they're always bickering back and forth, and it's some of the best parts of the show. But
one day I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But I've got to comment on something in the chat because I watched a Charlize Theron movie recently I hadn't seen yet. Because in the chat, they're talking about seeing Charlize Theron in a movie is never a bad thing. So I saw Atomic Blonde recently. It's pretty good. It's not what I was expecting. If you guys haven't seen Atomic Blonde, it's definitely worth a watch.
It's like John Wick, right? It's a girl version of John Wick. They try to make it.
I mean, a little, but it's different. It's kind of comic booky.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. If anyone in the chat has seen it, you want to chime in, feel free. But Atomic Blonde was pretty cool. And the reason I mentioned it is because you guys said she's hot and she's, in it.
She is very attractive.
I don't think she's as attractive anymore. But anyway, the movie was really good. Like some pretty good action. There's a one-shot scene at the end of the movie where it's like following her along in a staircase, kind of like the Daredevil scenes, And it goes on pretty long with her just doing this fight in the stairs. And it's a pretty cool fight. But the storyline feels a little bit more comic booky. It takes place in the 80s.
Really?
And it's like a spy thriller. I don't know why it feels comic booky to me.
Well, the girl from The Mummy's in it, right? The Mummy is in it, right?
Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about it that feels comic booky to me. But it's more of like this very classic spy movie. Takes place in the 80s during like Reagan's time. Because I think they make reference. Yeah, they make reference to Reagan because it's about like the Berlin Wall coming down is what a lot of the movie is about. So
speaking of, I started watching that show, Mr. Iglesias on Netflix, and they start talking about the presidents, and they get to Reagan. They're like, "Oh yeah, Reagan's famous for saying, tear down that wall." And everything. And they're like, "Oh, imagine that, a Republican president that had a thing against walls." And I laughed way harder than I should have. Way harder.
Watch that show.
Oh, it's kind of stupid, but it's funny.
Well, I just love Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy is my friend, man. So speaking of action movies, and actors that are older but awesome, Christopher Waltz is set to return as Blofeld in Bond 25. So we just talked about Charlize Theron returning. Now we're talking about Christoph Waltz returning. I'm going to go ahead and say Fab for this one.
Well, he was he probably is my favorite bad guy from the Daniel Craig era.
See, now I thought Spectre was a little bit disappointing, but I don't think that was his fault. I thought he was incredible in it. Christoph Waltz was so good.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. So is Spectre the one where they sit Bond in that chair that has no bottom in it and they're
No,
whacking
that's
him in the
Casino
nuts?
Royale.
Okay, is that Javier Bardem that's doing that?
No, that's in Skyfall. It's Mads Mikkelsen in
Oh, the dude from
Casino Royale.
Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Okay. I don't even remember him in that movie. Oh, well, Christoph Waltz is awesome.
Unknown Reaper. What am I wrong about? Said we're wrong. Are we wrong that Christoph Waltz was good, or what are we wrong about here? Give us some details. Anyway, yeah, I thought Christoph Waltz was really good, but Spectre was just a little bit underwhelming. And I was writing an article about it a while ago, and then I think I scrapped it because I just got too busy. But
So I'm not wrong. Oh, I am wrong. Max is right. I'm wrong.
See, Unknown Reaper, you got to be more specific.
Unknown
man.
Reaper, yeah, dude. More words. Words are your friend.
Use your words, buddy. No, dude, I think it's cool that he's coming back. I think it's fab.
Yeah, I agree. I don't remember Spectre that much, but Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
That's an amazing movie, man. I love that movie.
Quantum of
Casino
Solace?
Royale. Wait, hold on. Am I getting it mixed up?
Hold on. I think you are. It's
Yeah.
Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Then Quantum of Solace, which was meh. Then Skyfall, which was incredible.
Oh, Skyfall. There's
then
4
Spectre,
already?
Yeah, then Spectre, and now Bond 25. So yeah, Daniel Craig's getting to do 5 of these movies.
Kyle says, yeah, Reaper, words.
You know what this is reminding me of, if any of you guys are Office fans? It reminds me of that episode where Kevin is trying to not use any words, and it becomes very, very confusing. He's like...
me hungry.
Oh, yeah, me hungry. Kevin, see world. See, Kevin, this is where you're making it difficult. Do you want to see the world, or do you want to go to Sea World?
Oh, man. Dude,
But
there's
yeah,
like 25 Bond movies. How many Bond movies are there?
I think 25 is for the years, or is it the 25th movie? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's the 25th year since Bond came out.
I have them all on Blu-ray. Every single one.
Really? Did you buy the collection or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're starting to kind of form together into one.
So there's 26 Bond movies, but I'm pretty sure one of those is the non-canon one, which is why this one is going to be the 25th. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's 25 years. No, because it's been way more than 25 years.
Did you see that news about this next movie is supposed to pass the torch to the girl from Captain Marvel?
See, so yes, I did see that. So Captain Marvel, I don't remember the actress's name, but her friend, the other pilot, is going to be 007 in Bond 25. Doesn't mean she's going to be James Bond, because people started to get all up in arms. They're like, what? I thought Daniel Craig was going to be in it. Daniel Craig is in it. He is James Bond, but that girl is going to be 007. Bond has left he's left MI6, and now she is 007. I don't have any issue with that. I'm fine with that. Whatever. I like Bond being 007, but that isn't like the end all be all for me. You know, he doesn't have to be, so long as it's
not James Bond. I mean, if they want to explore the world of the MI6, like, I'm all right with that, you know, but James Bond needs to be a guy, you know.
Yeah.
Which probably bring us into our next one. We're going to talk about Little Mermaid.
Yeah, let's talk about Little Mermaid real quick. Touch on this briefly. There's been some controversy over not Halle Berry. So I can't think of how to pronounce it. Haley Berry or something like that. It's very similar. Now I gotta look up her name. Dang it. Little Mermaid casting. Mermaid 2019. Let's see. I can't remember how to say your name.
Max, you have the loudest keyboard ever.
I know. I'm sorry. I know. I should have muted myself. Halle Bailey. It's a very similar name. No, Halle Berry is not playing the Little Mermaid, but Halle Bailey.
Which that's a movie I'd go see.
But she's going to be the Little Mermaid, and there's been a little bit of controversy because she's black. And personally, I can't say fab or flub on her because I don't really know her as an actor. I'm going to go ahead and say fab because I don't really have any issue with her playing the part. I was telling Lance this before. The only thing I want her to be a redhead. Ariel's a redhead to me. The race doesn't matter. Don't care about that. But make her a redhead.
Yeah. It's just, I don't think that people of that
24 Bond movies knew I'll be 25. Good job. Thank you for explaining math to us.
I don't think that people of that ethnicity can be redheads.
You can be whatever you want to be.
But I mean, like, natural.
Maybe not naturally, but I don't know. Whatever.
But then begs the question:
it's a magical creature. It's a mermaid.
Yeah, it begs the question: how does hair dye work in the ocean?
It's magic.
Pretty sure it doesn't.
But yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say,
I don't think you can dye your
Heard,
hair in the ocein. Like,
is Amber Heard that redhead though? Because she does all those underwater scenes in Aquaman.
That is very obviously
a wig.
The fake.
Yeah, so there you go. Same thing.
All right,
we're good. I just want.
All I'm saying is that Terry Crews needs to be Trident.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'd like that or not. I love him, but I don't know. I guess it could make the movie funnier because Terry Crews is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, they need to go the humor route.
Yeah,
as long as her hair does not look like Starfire from Titans, Mike says.
All right, I'm gonna type stuff, so I'm muting myself. You got to talk for a second here, Lance.
All right, so so with the Little Mermaid, there's a couple things. So it sounds like that they're casting Awkwafina as the seagull. And Max, who are they casting as Flounder?
Oh, I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't looked into.
I don't know. I'm getting really tired of all these remakes of these animated movies. I'm hearing Lion King's not that great.
I don't know. I've been hearing it's fine.
I'm sharing my screen. Debuted with the Rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, here. Let me share this screen here real quick. This is just some fan art of her with red hair. I think she looks cool. I don't know. Yeah. I think the red hair would totally work. Where was the other one? This animated one. I think she looks cool with red hair. I have no idea who's playing Flounder, though. I really didn't look into that, so I'm not sure. There's the stop.
I guess I'm just not that excited about any of them, really. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's... Do we need it? Do we need a live action Little Mermaid? I don't think we do. Like,
absolutely we do.
I don't think so, man. It's just...
No, we don't. But we also don't need a live action Mulan, but that one I think looks really good.
Yeah, I'm not that excited about any of them.
Really?
To tell you the honest truth. I mean, Aladdin looked cool because it looked like it was offering something different, and it really didn't for the most part. Like, it offered the same. I just don't want the same rehash. Like, Dumbo looks to be like a completely different movie.
Yeah, but it was like critically panned. Like, no one liked it.
Well, that's just the case of Tim Burton movies. Tim Burton movies in general aren't always. I mean, for every 5 movies that he does, like 1 or 2 is a hit. Like, you have Corpse Bride.
Unknown Reaper says, "Stop believing critics." We're critics. No, but I agree. I agree for the most part. Like, the critics are just too harsh. I'm excited to see Lion King. My family's going to be in town, not next week, but the week after. We're planning on seeing it.
Yeah, we got our tickets to see
it.
We got our tickets to see it this Friday.
Nice.
Because my kids are into it. I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to get old really quick. Seeing the same movie. Like, I heard... What?
Critics are dumbasses.
And he's a critic, so...
We didn't need Aquaman. Yes, we did. Jason Momoa was beautiful. I'm not even interested in men, but I think he's beautiful.
Oh, dude. So did you see... So, I've been... Let's switch gears a little bit from the Little Mermaid thing.
Okay.
Did you see the link I sent you about Taron Egerton? Yeah,
I did. Are we going to beat this dead horse again? Let's do it.
Well, okay. So, I've been talking about him for years, right? Yeah. As Wolverine. But now it's saying that he's the front runner.
Well, I mean, okay. So I saw the article you sent me about that. And he commented on the rumors and he said, as far as I'm aware, none of this is true. He doesn't think he would be grizzly enough for it. I think Taron Egerton would be a cool choice for Wolverine, like maybe a Fab. But I don't know. I do kind of agree with him when he says that he's not very grizzly. I don't think he's a very grizzly dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen fan pictures of him.
Then again, Hugh Jackman wasn't grizzly either.
Yeah, back then he wasn't. I mean, it's called steroids and biotin.
It's more the voice for me. But Taron Egerton or Edgerton, however you say it, probably could do it.
So Unknown Reaper saying they haven't started casting for the character yet, but
not
officially. Like, yes, there's no news of them casting, but they're having discussions because Marvel doesn't do anything without planning it 4 or 5 years in advance. So they've already started having discussions. They've been talking to Keanu Reeves for years now, trying to find the perfect movie for Is Unknown Reaper Matt? Is that what this is? He says, I'll be at SDCC.
I'm starting to wonder the same thing because he's talking about you being on their show. It's gotta be. Yeah. I'm trying to look for fan art of Taron Egerton, but all I see is just him in a wife beater. That doesn't really show me much. Oh no, it is this one is pretty cool actually. All right. I'm gonna share this one. This is a decent art of him. So let's share the screen here. So this right here, the heck? There we go. This
call the computer Matt
is this is just a little imagining of what Taron Egerton could look like as Logan.
I love it. I love everything about it.
He looks okay. I think you need to give him more facial hair, but he does look okay. And I know Hugh Jackman and him are friends, and they have a similar background with Taron Egerton being a singer and all that.
Hugh Jackman has endorsed him.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman thinks that he'd be a great choice.
I don't know. It's just he seems like the kind of guy that they can get now that's young. They can have him for years in the future. Wolverine is going to be one of those tentpole characters, much like Iron Man and Spider-Man were. He's going to be a tentpole. So they need somebody that they can have for 10 to 15 years, and Taron Egerton is the perfect fit.
I would be down. I think he's a great actor. I love him in Kingsman. He's so good. I haven't had a chance to see Rocket Man yet, but the stuff I've seen him in, I think he's really good. And so I'm down. I'm down for it. Like, his action ability is there. He's extremely entertaining. And a lot of that's choreography, but like as an actor, you need to be able to do some of it that your stuntman isn't doing. And I think that he's doing a pretty good job. So I'm down. I'm down for him. You made a list of top Wolverines a while back, and one of them on there was Richard Armitage.
Yeah,
him. I thought that was a pretty interesting choice. I never thought of that. I think he could be really good, but he is older.
He's on the older side.
He is older than Taron, and Taron is young, and so that would be cool. Like if we're gonna have the X-Men in the MCU for the next 10 years or so, Taron Egerton, however you say it, is a good choice.
I believe that we'll start hearing news about the next X-Men in about 2021, 2022. We'll start hearing news. And if it's not X-Men, it's definitely going to be Fantastic Four. One of those two we'll be seeing fairly soon.
Please be X-Men. I just don't really care about Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, I think, Fantastic Four as a group, I don't care about. But the amount of stories that they can do with Reed Richards.
Reed Richards would be a great addition to the MCU. Especially
but you can't introduce him without the rest of the team. Yeah.
You're right. Well, you could introduce him without the rest of the team, but Fantastic Four do kind of seem to go all hand in hand.
But I have faith that he will. Oh, that's right. So Matt is going to San Diego Comic-Con. That's what I'm going to call it now. And he's right. So on Saturday, we'll know a lot more. So a bunch of news is going to be hitting Saturday. And Marvel is returning to Hall H. Yeah, see, Kevin Feige loves Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer, is what Mike's saying from Grizzle Geek. Mm-hmm. So we'll see them really soon. I just hope it's John Krasinski. I don't know if any of you guys agree with me on the chat, but John Krasinski as Reed Richards would be fantastic. But this Saturday, we're going to have a bunch of news because Marvel's debuting at Hall H. So Disney wants you to forget about X-Men for a while. That's probably true.
Probably not a bad idea after the train wreck that was Dark Phoenix.
Ironically,
the only part of that movie that was really good was the train part, but yet the whole movie was a train wreck.
It ended on a high note, right? But I have a feeling that news as far as what their plans are for these characters we won't hear anything for at least a year or two.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. We probably won't hear for a while.
But that's not saying that they're not talking to people.
No, I agree. And I do think it'd be cool if on Saturday we found out something about Fantastic Four. Because we don't really know much about the MCU right now. Like, we just don't. Spider-Man is the only, like, officially confirmed thing. Well, excuse me. We know Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming out, but, like, otherwise we don't really have anything officially confirmed. So
Well, Black
Saturday
Widow.
should be exciting. I know, but, like, even that, have they officially confirmed it?
Yeah,
I know
they
there's set
started
photos.
filming. Yeah, they
Yeah.
started
Okay.
filming.
I
So
guess
yeah,
you're right.
it's coming out. We just don't know what it's about. We know
But,
that it's about her past, but we don't know if it's going
yeah.
to
But is there
merge
a
with the
release date
future.
on anything else yet? Like, do we know any release dates for 2020 for Marvel movies?
Black Widow.
It has a 2020 release date?
Yeah, they're releasing 2 movies next year, and it's Black Widow and
Man alive, I'm feeling real underformed here. I'm sorry, I'm the
so
worst.
David Harbour was cast in Black Widow, as well as Florence Pugh, who is from Fighting with My Family. Have you seen that one, Max?
No, I haven't.
She's fantastic in it, and there's rumors that she's going to take on the mantle of the Black Widow going forward.
That's right, Eternals as well. Yeah, Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals is coming out. I'm not sure what the release date is on that.
I guess what I'm getting at is there's just not as clear of a roadmap as there has been in the past, but I think that was on purpose. They wanted the Infinity War saga to kind of play out, and now they're going to give us more of a roadmap. Because there's been a lot of talk about different movies, and some of them are probably going to be real, some of them may not be. But I'm excited. I think Saturday we're going to get some more information and probably get a roadmap.
So do we have any more Fab or Flubs to go through?
We do. We have one more.
What is it?
The last one is the Joker movie. Doesn't follow anything from the comics. It's its own thing. Nothing about it is based on comics.
Yeah, so when I hear things like that, it just seems like pandering to me. Like, okay, so it's not following the comic books in any way. So really, the only tie that it has to comic books is its character name, right? Is the names of the characters. So in that case, why didn't you just make a different movie that didn't have anything to do with these characters? Oh, wait, you want people to go see it, so you're going to name the characters after these popular characters.
I think you're reading into that way too much. I don't think that it means that it has nothing to do with the Joker from the comics. He's just saying that it's not following a specific story arc.
Well, we know Batman's not in it.
Well, yeah, but like, don't expect to see the Killing Joke, like his origins from that or something. But really, we don't have very many origins for the Joker that much, so it's not going to follow a ton. The Killing Joke is probably the main thing people would fall back on for an origin, but they're not going to follow that, which I'm fine with. I kind of want to see something fresh. I didn't really like his origin in the Killing Joke that much personally. Joker is technically different people. I don't know. I think the Joker movie looks really cool, and I have no problem with it not following the comics. I think it's still going to lean on some of the things we know. We can already see it's got the laugh. It's going to have that similar makeup. It's going to have Thomas Wayne. It's going to have some of these other things. It's going to be Gotham. Like, I think it's still going to feel like Jokerland. So I'm saying Fab on that. I like that it's going to be something unfamiliar.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll hold reservation until I see it. It just, anytime I hear that, oh, it doesn't follow the comic book and it's a completely fresh take and all these other things, and then you find out that certain characters aren't even going to be in it, it just seems like, well, then why are you making it? We already know that this is a standalone, so it doesn't have anything to do with whatever DC is doing with their universe, right? So It has no ties to Shazam. It has no ties to Aquaman or The Flash or any of these other movies. It's completely standalone. It has no ties to even the Christopher Nolan thing. It's just, I'm trying to figure out what the point of it is.
For fun.
Yeah, I don't know. We've gotten so used to having these comic book movies come out that offer some sort of overarching story. You know what I mean? And it just seems like this is going to just be one of those ones that are just kind of, yeah. So Grizzle Geek says it's like Gotham. Joker will be in his 60s by the time Batman starts fighting him. It doesn't make sense to me, man. I don't see how it fits. I don't understand why they couldn't make an edgy Joker movie and have it fit in with the grand scheme of things, I guess. I just...
Okay, but with the Jared Leto Joker, would you want a movie about that? Because I wouldn't.
my issue with Jared Leto is not Jared Leto. My issue with Jared Leto is everything that production studio did to Jared
I know,
Leto.
but how do you like undo that? I guess you could undo it by saying it was Jason Todd saying he's the Joker, and the real Joker is somewhere out there.
Well, that's what we wanted from the beginning when we saw those first photos of Jared Leto as the Joker, and he had the stupid tattoo across his forehead and all these stupid things about him that were just so gimmicky and so comic booky that it just seemed ridiculous. We all unanimously said, "Oh, it's probably Jason Todd," and then they show a Robin suit that's torn to pieces and Bruce Manor and all these, or Wayne Manor and all these things. So all the Easter eggs were there to paint Jason Todd as the Joker.
Yeah.
But then the rug got pulled out from us. We still don't know why that suit was hanging in Wayne Manor. We still don't know any of these things. Why couldn't it be that this kind of tied it all together?
So here's the deal. Here's why. And I know I'm probably going to get crap for this, but the reality is Zack Snyder had a vision for what he wanted to do with this overarching story, and they didn't let him finish it. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily he should have, because I know that Batman v Superman wasn't very well received, but Man of Steel, for the most part, is really well liked. So I don't know. Justice League, I don't know if it's his fault or Joss Whedon's or both or the studios or whatever, but they didn't. I think that there were going to be answers to a lot of those questions, like why was Robin's suit there? Why was all this Batman nightmare scene going on? Which Zack Snyder has said he had a plan for that, and he's revealed some of it in his tweets. But I don't know. I think that's kind of the tough thing. You see it in Star Wars as well. You had why am I blanking on his name now? J.J. Abrams direct the first one, and then you had Rian Johnson come in and direct the second one, and it was so vastly different than the first one, and it didn't really fit that well. And now you have J.J. coming back. Like, when you have all this lack of direction in the writing, it causes issues. And the MCU has figured out a way to do it, because I think you've got Kevin Feige at the top of there, and he's really directing things well. But DC doesn't seem to have anyone that's directing it very well, because Jeff Johns wasn't involved at first, and then by the time he got involved, he was kind of like, I don't even want to be involved, and then he's leaving, and it's like, it's just they've lacked focus.
Yeah. Mike says he doesn't even want a Joker movie without Batman at all, and I agree. I mean, I've wanted Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker for so many years because I thought he was perfect. I even wanted Jared Leto as the Joker before they showed his image.
Yeah.
I don't understand, like, if everything that you've made sucked, right? If the studio believes that it sucks, don't just abandon it. Try to make it better by releasing further stories. You know, Marvel released Iron Man 2 and not a lot of people liked it, but they were able to release subsequent movies that kind of fixed whatever they believed to be wrong with Iron Man 2, you know, and Iron Man 3, I mean, they came back up a bit. All it shows is that DC doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and they could easily repair this story, but they're like, no, screw it, we're just going to start over. And it just kind of seems like a slap in the face to the fans, you know?
No, their universe is super it's super confusing. I don't know what's going on. Like, people have been clamoring for Man of Steel 2. We don't even know if Henry Cavill's still Batman. Superman. Like, we don't even know if that's going on. The last few movies have been really good. Like, for the most part, people liked Wonder Woman. Not everyone liked Aquaman, but it was pretty well received compared to others. Shazam was very well liked. I would say Shazam has been my second favorite comic book movie of the year. Like, they're doing much better, but the universe still lacks direction. Like, I think it's good that they're doing these solo movies, but we have no idea what's happening. Like,
that's my issue. That's my issue with Shazam, is because before Shazam came out, they said, okay, we're done with the MCU, right? And you start getting the DCU. Yeah. We're starting to get little tidbits of the Joker movie and all these things coming out. And then at the end of Shazam, they tease Spider-Man or Superman. And now they're already test screening Birds of Prey that still has Margot Robbie involved and still has all these people. So yes, it's part of the DCU, but yet the DCU is dead. And then they're still making a Flash movie with Ezra Miller because they just hired a new writer.
For the sixth time.
Yeah, for the sixth time. They're still planning on making a Shazam 2. They're still planning on making an Aquaman 2. So the DCEU is not dead. It's just, I don't know. DC just pisses me off. Warner Brothers in general, just, Wonder Woman's coming out here soon, and we know that Gal Gadot was in the Justice League, so yet there's still he's saying that the Flash movie fell apart again in the last few days. I don't know.
I don't think
we can't keep up. You can't keep up. It's constantly changing. So
since we've been doing this show, we've been reporting on the Flash movie since we started the show over 2 years ago, and it's still not here, and it's still not even close. It was supposed to come out like in 2018 or something like that.
And it got me excited once when they talked about how they were doing kind of a Back to the Future vibe. So that Shazam followed this big model, and the Flash was supposed to follow a similar model with Back to the Future. Yeah. I got excited, and then the whole thing fell apart again. You can't keep up with them. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing over there. If I was DC, I'd go, hey, Kevin Feige, when's your contract done? We will pay you double to come fix this crap, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And the problem is that Warner Brothers just won't get out of their own way. Hire somebody to run the show, let them run the show, sink or swim, and stay out of it. But the issue with Zack Snyder's movies, and even though I don't like him as a director per se, but they still got involved. We even heard of Zack Snyder cuts being released and all these other things because Warner Brothers cannot get out of their way.
Yeah, which I would love to see a Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, but it's not going to happen. So
no,
people getting their hopes up for it. It's kind of funny. Well, anyway, let's get into something more positive. Let's talk about a little bit more Marvel. Before we get into, well, we've been recording for like an hour already almost. Huh? Never mind. I was going to say let's talk about Jessica Jones for a bit. Let's just
which I haven't even watched any of that. That's a whole nother sore spot.
Same with Stranger Things 3. I haven't gotten into it yet, but that's not because I don't want to watch it. It's just my wife and I wanted to rewatch the show, so we finished season 1 today. We started season 2. We want to just rewatch.
You've only known that season 3 was coming out for the last year.
I know, but we were watching House of Cards. It took us like several months to get through a House of Cards because we got addicted, man. It was so good until the last season, which was kind of meh.
So Spider-Man.
Yeah, man, Spider-Man. So this is going to be your warning. Full spoilers, as usual, when we talk about a movie.
Full spoilers.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yes. So with that said, let's just get it out of the way. So at the beginning of the show, I talked about how everything you're about to see and hear is an illusion, which was a reference to Spider-Man, because we had our Master of Illusion, Mysterio. And was it what you expected, Lance?
Actually, yes. So throughout all the marketing, they kept trying to cram down your throat that Mysterio is a good guy, and I knew that he wasn't going to be a good guy. But I did think that it was going to be I thought maybe he might have started out as a good guy, and Nick Fury might have stabbed him in the back or something like that to make him turn bad. But the way they did it, I should have saw coming, because Mysterio is a special effects director and all these things, and they did exactly what you should have thought that they would have done. It was fantastic. They succeeded. So they tried to do the same thing that they did in Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin, but they did it better in this movie.
Oh, much better.
Much better, because they actually went through.
It was still Mysterio.
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, they give you a character, and you're like, wait a minute, that's not right. Something's wrong about him. That's not who Mysterio is. And at the end of the movie, they're like, just kidding. It's the character you've always known. Whereas the Mandarin, like, he seemed kind of like Mandarin-ish. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, just kidding. He's not the Mandarin. So I think that's why
about that. That's a sore spot for me.
I think that's why a lot less people were pissed off about it.
Well, no. So like, go ahead. Sorry.
He's not even the highlight of the movie, dude.
No, but I wanted to just start with that.
But I'm so excited to talk about the real highlight of the movie.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll do that next. I just wanted to give my thoughts on this. So the reason I asked if it was what you expected is because I'm with you. I expected him to be a bad guy. Like, going in, like, Mysterio's a bad guy. Like, I don't even read the comics. I just watched the cartoons growing up. I knew Mysterio was a bad guy,
Yeah.
But I didn't expect them to do it the way they did it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't expect him to be an ex-Stark employee who used tech that was talked about in Civil War that, you know what I mean? Like the way they tied it all in was really fascinating. And the fact that he was a disgruntled employee with a bunch of friends who used this illusion technology, that I did not expect that. That's what I mean by, was it what you expected? Because I think anyone who had any like understanding of Mysterio knew that he was going to be a bad guy. It was just how they did it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought that was really cool.
I thought it was cool how they did it and how they kind of tied in from previous movies, but the fact of using, because he essentially is still using special effects.
Yeah.
So the fact that they still use that as the core of his character, even though it was much more high tech than like pyrotechnics and stuff like that, I loved it. The part that bums me out about him though is I wanted to eventually see him and Doc Ock and Chameleon and Vulture and all these things do kind of the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
And now we're not going to see that, at least not with Mysterio. Unless it comes out that Mysterio's not really dead. But
I mean, at the end of the movie, you find out that he like did this whole misdirect to make Spider-Man look like the bad guy. Who knows? Maybe he's not dead.
I would love that.
I mean, who tells Spider-Man that he's dead and that there's no illusion? Unknown Reaper, he's not dead. I agree, he's not dead.
Well,
so Edith is the one that says he's not dead. Edith told him, "Oh yeah, he's dead." How do we know that Mysterio didn't mess with Edith before Spider-Man got control back? You know what I mean? So
I hope so. I hope so, because Jake Gyllenhaal is probably one of the best actors that Marvel has ever pulled into the MCU. He's a fantastic actor, and I want to see more of him. Even though he's a bad guy, like he's one of the few bad guys that have gotten me truly excited. Kyle, if you haven't seen that movie yet, you need to give up your nerd card, bro.
Kyle makes me laugh because I'm pretty sure he comes into every episode and says spoiler alert right after we say, "Hey, here's your spoiler alert."
But
speaking of which, real quick, I got to get a beef out with Absolute Geek while they're listening. You've invited Lance on your show like 17 times. I've never been invited.
I'm actually going to be on next week. Or is it next week?
But then again, they haven't been on the show when I've been on either, so I guess I can't talk. We need to have you guys on sometime. Mike, I've done 2 shows with from Grizzled Geek, but Absolute Geek, you guys are some of our best friends in the community. I need to hang out with you guys sometime.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be on next week for Matt, because Matt's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm going to be on Absolute Geek next week.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
So this week, this Friday. He knows what I mean, dude. Matt's
advertise right.
I tried. Lance shrugs me off. Come on now, Kyle.
But
I truly hope he's not dead. I would have liked to see, and I get why they didn't, because they want to make you think that he's dead, but it was cool in the Homecoming to see the Vulture and Scorpion, right? Was it Scorpion? Do that scene in the prison, and kind of the beginning of hey, Kyle wants the link.
Do you send it to him?
All right. So
I'm friends with them on Facebook. So
at the end of Homecoming, we kind of see that tease of the Sinister Six starting to form. And hold on, I'm sending him a link.
Yeah, no worries.
And this movie, we didn't really get that. However, we get something much bigger with the reveal that J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson in this movie.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy.
Oh my gosh, I clapped. I've seen it twice and I clapped. I don't think this is the right link. I think I sent him the wrong link. Dude, it was awesome, dude. And they kind of make him look a little bit more like Alex Jonesy, you know? But yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Here, I'll send you the link again to Lance, and you can send that to him.
I think I got it.
All right.
That should work, Kyle. Come on.
Yeah, dude, J.K. Simmons being on was the coolest thing in the entire movie. I was so excited. To have that.
It was fantastic, dude. I mean, and it kind of shows you that, yeah, there is kind of a multiverse. You know what I mean? That J.K. Simmons is playing the same character, but slightly different iteration. And and it kind of opens the door to this Into the Spider-Verse that Tom Holland has been clamoring for, with Andrew Garfield, not Topher Grace, that's Venom.
Please no Topher Grace.
Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland all in kind of the same movie, even though it kind of takes away the idea that Tobey Maguire may someday be Uncle Ben.
That's okay.
Which a lot of people
I would rather see
an
Into the Spider-Verse movie.
It's true. Kyle is on, buddy. What's up?
Kyle, what's up?
I can't hear you.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Now I can
hear you now. We got
All right,
you.
Kyle, have you seen Spider-Man, or are you going to wait a month like you did with Endgame?
I'm going to wait a month like I did with Endgame.
Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, what the hell, Kyle?
Then why are you here? We're going to ruin the entire movie for you.
No, it's cool. I'm just joking. I don't really actually care about spoilers.
Okay, fair enough.
I just like to say it.
Well, that's completely different than Max, because Max,
I care.
If you give him a spoiler, it's like you shot him in the leg. Like, honestly, like,
no, I get mad.
He's dying of dysentery.
Yeah, no, I hear. So I've already heard like a very, very general spoiler for Stranger Things 3, and I was upset. So whatever, it's fine.
Oh, Yahoo spoiled Stranger Things 3 for me.
Yeah, I don't want to know about it. Anytime I see Stranger Things 3 when I'm scrolling through the social media,
they put it in the damn headline, dude. They put it in the headline. I was pissed. It's the biggest thing of the show. Okay. I'm not going to say what it is. Okay, it's the biggest part of the show, and they
all die. It's all right.
They all die. The Upside Down is actually the real reality. No, just kidding.
It's right side up, and it's at Burger King.
It's a Krispy Kreme.
Well, welcome on, Kyle. Welcome on to the show. Nice meeting you.
Finally.
Kyle, have you and Max ever actually met?
No. I've watched their show a few times, and I've interacted with him on Facebook by messing with you. Telling you that you look ugly that day or really handsome. Either way, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, dude, Spider-Man was I thought it was really good. I loved it. I don't know if it was Kyle or Matt that said Shazam was overrated. I disagree, but for me, it was for the best movies superhero wise of the year: Endgame, Shazam, and then Spider-Man. And Spider-Man just barely behind Shazam for me.
What made Shazam so awesome for you?
So it's the reason Shazam is better for me is because it was just so much fun and really funny. Spider-Man's villain was far better. Not that the villain was bad in Shazam, but he was just kind of generic, nothing really special to me. But I just loved like the big feel, the jokes, the 14-year-olds. It was very relatable. I also was a foster parent, so I'm immediately going to enjoy watching movies that make foster parents look good, because all of TV and movies make foster parents look like they're terrible.
Jerry. Who doesn't want Jerry to be their dad?
Yeah, Jerry from The Walking Dead, that you mean? Yeah. No, dude, he was great. I loved them. I thought Shazam was just a ton of fun. Freddy was so funny. It reminded me of being a teenager, just the dumb stuff, the immaturity, the obsession with superheroes, and I don't know. It was just fun.
I think what it is too is that I was able to go watch a movie where I didn't have a super big understanding or like knowledge base of the character, because what I remember, it was always a group of kids and they yell Shazam together and become Shazam, not a group of kids all become different versions of Shazam. I don't remember that, and that's from the New 52, right, Kyle?
I never read Shazam. I've never been a Shazam dude at all. It never intrigued me. That's why I didn't even go see the movie when it came out, because it's never.
Have you not seen it still?
Nope.
That is not an absolute geek. That is an absolute freak.
I hate going to the movies.
Okay.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
I love going to the movies.
I saw Spider-Man
yesterday and went.
I saw Spider-Man the day it came out, loved it so much, went and saw it the next day. Like I don't know. I love the movies.
I go by myself. I literally went to the movies yesterday by myself. I was just like, "Hey, hon, do you want to go see Stuber?" She says, "No, I'm good. I don't want to go." I'm like, "All right, I'm out. I'm going to go see it." I got my bucket of popcorn, my drink. I'm good to go.
I had this argument with Matt, and I said, I swear what I wish they would do is like $40. I get to watch it at home.
Yeah.
Just pay.
The day it comes out, I want to be able just to watch it on TV. Then I'll see every movie.
See, but like
you just
now
don't like going to the theater, huh?
I hate it. I hate people. I hate sitting next to them. Like the last time I went, it was, I don't remember what movie we saw. I think it was actually Endgame. And it was an empty theater. And I had this whole family come and sit right next to me. And there was probably like 10 people in the whole theater.
Oh, man.
And they got up and the kid was running back and forth the entire movie.
I'm sorry, dude.
So if you're
Everybody
willing-
was talking. They were taking selfies during the movie. It just drove me bonkers.
So
That's
you're out in Glendale, Kyle. There should be. I'm pretty sure there's a theater that's only 18 and over. That's out there by you. There's no children allowed.
That's my kind of theater.
Oh, is that Studio Movie Grill? That's Scottsdale.
No, not Studio Movie Grill, because that's all ages. But there's a theater out there that'll bring alcohol to your seat. It's recliners, and they have dinner and everything, and there's no children allowed. I'll find out what the name of it is, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'll have to try that.
No free plugs on our show.
If you're willing to pay $40, dude, just buy 3 seats at a reserved theater. Then no one can sit by you.
I thought about that too, but I usually go with my family, so there's usually 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
So just buy the 2 seats surrounding you.
There you go. Westgate AMC is 18 and over after like 10. Okay, so that's a late movie, but
Shazam is fantastic, and I have kind of an unhealthy love of Zachary Levi from his Chuck days.
Oh man!
So I'll go see anything with him, and I'm still kind of pissed what they did to him in Thor 2. Was it Thor 2? Where he barely has any speaking parts. He replaces.
Oh yeah, no, he's hardly in it.
Yeah, but Shazam just reminded me about everything I loved of old 80s movies. Like it just seemed to be like an 80s reboot of some of those iconic movies. It had the same kind of humor that you find in Big. It had some stuff from like Home Alone a little bit, like a whole bunch of stuff kind of just like drilled into this perfect superhero movie.
You know what else it had, Lance?
What?
It said lightning from my hands, lightning from my hands, lightning from my hands. That's what it had. Best part of the movie.
I love that movie. But
and it's
it
also
comes out
a story about a hero being an idiot who creates a problem and then solves it. And everyone's happy. They're like, great job. I'm like, you realize he's the one that made that bus crash? And he caused thousands of property damage, and you're cheering for him. But
I think it.
Oh, Kyle joined.
So now we have double Kyle.
Even better.
So it was it reminded me of a PG-13 version of Deadpool, kind of with the just absurdness of some of the parts of it. Like it never took itself too seriously, even though I do feel like they wasted Mark Strong as a villain. I think I really wanted him to be recast as Sinestro if they were to do that, because to me, he's the best part of that Green Lantern movie. Did you watch that Green Lantern movie, Kyle? With Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
It was awful, right? But could you...
I seem to, if everybody thinks the movie's horrible, I seem to stray to the left, and I didn't think it was the greatest, but I also didn't think it was horrible. I thought it wasn't bad. I lived with it. I watched it a dozen times.
Yeah, I own it on Blu-ray, but I buy everything. You've seen my Blu-ray collection.
I still haven't seen Green Lantern to this day.
His suit is stupid, but Mark Strong is awesome. Oh, we're back down to one Kyle. It's like,
damn it.
I thought we were going for surround sound because I was excited.
But back to Spider-Man. I don't know. The fact that it took everything that you knew and loved about Spider-Man and just turned it up to 11. Like the humor was there, kind of the innocence that is Peter Parker was there. Nick Fury and Peter Parker really contrast each other really well.
Was that Nick Fury?
Oh yeah. Well, see, now it sucks because I'm trying not to spoil it for Kyle.
I already know.
All right.
No, dude, the innocence thing, I want to touch on that since you mentioned it, because that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like how innocent he was, how much of like a teenage boy he was. Like, it was very relatable to me, because I remember being that teenage kid who planned everything out, and like before I went to like talk to a girl, and like he planned every little thing out, and it was going to work exactly how he had planned.
Right.
And nothing worked that way. And then there's that other guy who's trying to get with MJ, and then he almost accidentally kills him, you know, all that stuff, like the jealousy and the hormones, and he just wants to be a kid. And it came across so much in this movie, because Homecoming shows a little bit about that, like where he wants to be a kid. He wants to, you know, go to parties and hang out.
Yeah.
But this one was even more so. Like, he's now saved the universe, and he just wants a vacation, and they won't give it to him. Yeah, exactly. Who wouldn't? Especially as like 16-year-old kid.
Well, and you just spent 5 years into, you know, the blip world or whatever they're calling it, you know, and you just come back and you save the universe. He deserves a vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
but instead you got Mysterio, who wants to get in the spotlight and become the next superhero.
The Happy was kind of refreshing.
Oh, Happy was fun.
Yeah, because before he always seemed like a bit like a character that didn't really need to be there. And in this movie, he kind of plays a larger role a little bit. Yeah, he became a mentor a little bit, which anytime you get to see more Jon Favreau on scene, I mean, is good. I mean, he's a fantastic actor. If you've seen
that chef show on Netflix, it's awesome. It's super cool.
Which one, with him?
Yeah, he's in so he did the chef movie back in like 2014 or something like that. And now Netflix has come out with like a cooking show based around that movie with Jon Favreau and the cook from the show and everything. It's a fun Netflix show. It's only like 8 episodes, or like 30 minutes. Yeah, the movie Chef is great. Yeah, it's called Chef.
So
it's a really good movie.
Is it his character from Friends?
No,
because he plays a chef in Friends too.
It's on my Vudu account, Lance, if you want to watch it.
All right, really I'll watch it. But Max, what do you think this movie will do as far as the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, where do you think this is going?
That's a really tough question. Because they're kind of trying to make Spider-Man into like the next Iron Man, when that's not how he is. Although they did have that scene in the movie where he's like constructing his spider suit, and he's, you know, just as comfortable with the technology as Tony, and that was really cool. I don't know what like the future holds. Like, I was kind of excited about the idea of a multiverse, but then that got shut down. That's not real. So I have no idea. I was really thinking the multiverse would be a cool way to bring in X-Men and some other stuff, but
I don't think the multiverse got shut down. It just wasn't as
it wasn't real in this movie. I mean, the multiverse could still be a thing.
Yeah, and I think it is just for the realization that J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson again. Which, can I tell you how pleased I am that it's not Ice Cube? Everybody
was that a rumor?
Yeah, everybody's clamoring for Ice Cube to be J. Jonah Jameson, and I was not on board.
Really? I never heard that.
It'd be funny.
It would have been funny, but I just J.K. Cinnamon.
J.K. Cinnamon.
That's my stripper name. Just kidding, Cinnamon. No. J.K. Simmons like can yell at you, but he yells at Peter Parker, but it's not from like an angry point. Like, I can't see Ice Cube yelling at you and it not coming off as like you're a dick. You know, like
I don't know. I think Ice Cube could do it, but J.K. Simmons was the most.
It'd be essentially the same role he played in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah,
it'd be that, and he just comes off as a dick, dude. Like, I don't know what it is, but
sounds tasty. I agree. A J.K. Cinnamon does sound pretty good.
I think I got that drink from Starbucks today.
A J.K. Cinnamon.
But I don't know. Do you think
this is Smooth Talk Radio with J.K. Cinnamon coming to you live with some creamy?
Is that my new call name? But do you think that this leads into like Secret Wars or something? Or, I mean, it's weird that they kind of showcase the Kree at the end of it.
I think it could lead into the Secret Wars, but I have to be that guy, and hopefully maybe Kyle can help us out here. I'm just not super familiar with Secret Wars, so I can't speak to it much.
I think it's going to be weird that if they do it like that. I don't think they're. I don't. And I think Matt can back me up here. I don't think they're going to end up doing it just with the whole Venom thing already there, and it just and bringing everything in the black. I don't know. I don't really see it happening.
Well, now they're saying that Venom may be maybe featured in the next Spider-Man. That Sony is really pushing. So Marvel wants Deadpool to be in the next Spider-Man, and Sony is pushing for Venom to be in the next Spider-Man. And so it would be Tom Hardy's Venom, so it would kind of merge those worlds together.
Oh god, that would be terrible. I hated that movie.
You didn't like Venom?
Not even a little bit.
It had some redeeming qualities. It's not my favorite.
It took me 3 times to watch it and not fall asleep.
Yeah, and Mike's right. You got to have X-Men for Secret War.
But if this is going to be another 10-year plan, X-Men
I think
are going to
it's
be
a
here
10-year
for 10
plan.
years.
I think we'll see X-Men in maybe 2023 or something like that. I don't think it's far off. I tell you what, though, I want to see the Silver Surfer. I want to see more of the galactic stuff kind of explored a little bit.
That would be cool. That would be awesome to see, but I think they're going in a different direction than that.
I don't know. It's hard, right? This movie left things so open-ended. You really don't know where they're going. I mean, they did a really good job of making us go all kind of cumulatively go, what? Like just you don't know what's going to happen. There's so many storylines that they could kind of visit, but
and that's what's kind of exciting about this time period right now with the MCU is we had 10 years of 11 years now at this point of this basically the Infinity Saga, and it wrapped up in Endgame, and then you kind of put the little ribbon on top with Spider-Man Far From Home, because I do think Spider-Man Far From Home was a very good complement to Endgame, and I'm really glad we had an entire movie to deal with the fallout of Endgame. But because of how Spider-Man just kind of ends, it's a good ending point for Phase 3, and we have no idea where they're going from here, and I think that's kind of exciting. I
thought they were going to break it up. They were going to do a little. It was going to be a couple movie stints. It would be a little bit of cosmic, and then a little bit here. And they weren't going to, and it wasn't going to. They weren't going to draw it out. Like it wasn't going to be this long plan anymore. It's going to be a little shorter stint.
You may be right, and that could be cool, but I wouldn't be against them doing like mini arcs, like 2 or 3 year arcs that all play into one big 10-year arc. You know what I mean? Kind of like how was it Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4 was, where they had this overarching story throughout the entire season, but
it was like
the
a first
third of the season. Well, like it was like 3 story arcs. There was like a whole story arc that wrapped up the first third. The second third had another story arc, and then the final third was like the accumulation of all 3 of them. But like they were all so self-contained and interesting that the whole season was great. Because I've said on the show many times that I think 24 episode seasons are just annoyingly long, and they drag and drag and drag, which is why I like streaming shows so much. But that season was good because it kept it fresh the entire time.
Well, I feel like they're doing that again with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if you guys are caught up.
I'm not. I only got through the first 2 episodes.
So this Friday kind of closed up the first part of this current story arc that they're through, and I don't think it's a season finale, so I'm assuming that there's one next week. But
maybe there's only going to be like 13 episodes this season.
Yeah, we've only gone through 6.
Huh?
So the story arc from that's been playing for the last 6 or 7 episodes just finished. There's no going forward. I mean, but I don't know. I think. I know that they're going to be introducing some new characters. I know that Nova has been discussed. I know that they want to do another Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that if Nova's being discussed, that Silver Surfer is not going to be far off because that's still in that galactic vein a little bit. I don't know. Are you guys excited to see a Nova movie?
Again, I'm not super familiar with the character. I don't know. I've done a little bit of reading on him, but no. Silver Surfers, I think, would be awesome to see. That one, I think, would be really cool.
Well, Silver Surfer is a cool character.
Yeah, and I think that could actually be fun to see him teased maybe in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or something like that, with Adam Warlock being in that one. I don't know. I think that could be a cool tease. Grizzle Geek says yes, so it sounds like you guys are excited.
Well, then you have the Eternals coming out, which the Eternals kind of sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, it kind of sounds like they're the Inhumans redo. Is that essentially what it is?
Gosh, yeah. That was awful. We did this live event at the IMAX for our fans to come out and watch the episode of.
Oh yeah, dude, we had
a few fans, but that was so bad.
We all went and saw it opening night. The two episodes that they were playing in IMAX, and oh my gosh, it was brutal, dude.
I haven't watched any since. It was so bad.
No, I didn't watch any of it. None of it. But they also look like they're going to be focusing more on the martial arts stuff, because Shang-Chi is supposed to be coming out.
Okay, that would be awesome. I love that martial arts type stuff. That one, if that's true, I would be so excited to see that. Martial arts, Asian culture like that would be so cool to see in a superhero movie. I am so down.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's all up in the air. I don't think anybody really knows what's going on besides Kevin Feige.
Yeah. And how is the Black Widow going to tie in? Because I know it's a sequel, but
it's a
Captain
prequel.
Marvel prequel. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. I know it's a prequel, but like Captain Marvel was too, and it's still kind of tied in some ways. So is Black Widow going to somehow tie in, or is it just going to be its own thing?
This is my thoughts on Black Widow. So Florence Pugh is cast in Black Widow as who is Kyle, are you familiar with who Florence Pugh is playing in that movie?
Mm-mm.
She is playing.
Well, I'm looking at
Mike may know. So Florence Pugh is playing basically a character that eventually takes on the mantle of Black Widow. So I think this movie is going to introduce her. Let me see if is Mike helping us out here?
I don't know. I was Googling. Black Widow will be between Civil War and Infinity War. Is that confirmed, Mike? Or is that just your guess?
I think that's what they were saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping it was going to be Budapest. I really wanted to see Budapest finally.
I don't know if we're going to get a Budapest movie unless they do another prequel.
Well, no, I don't think they're going to do any more.
Oh, some new Black Widow set photos from Budapest have found their way online. So it looks like they are touching on Budapest a little bit.
Well, maybe they just do flashbacks or something.
Yelena Belova. So Yelena Belova is a character that went through the training with Natasha Romanoff through the Russian training, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But it's said that now that Scarlett Johansson is dead, that she is going to...
Wait, Scarlett Johansson died? When?
now that Natasha is dead, that Florence Pugh is going to take on that mantle. What are you laughing at, Kyle?
Scarlett Johansson's dead?
I know. Anytime he finds an opportunity to make me look like a dumbass, he takes it.
You do it to me too. That's best friend. Black Widow will feature Zemo and Agent Sharon Carter. Huh?
Yeah, which I want to see Sharon Carter again.
Me too. As good as the ending was for Captain America, I kind of liked him, kissing his niece.
I know, which essentially,
which she ended up being his niece.
I don't care, man. She is like one of the hottest girls I've ever seen in my life.
You say that about every girl. You told me that same thing about the Stranger Things chick too.
Which one?
Nancy.
I didn't say she was the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life, but Nancy's hot. Kyle, do you think Nancy's hot from Stranger Things?
Earlier in the show, you said Charlize Theron was hot.
Yeah, so did everybody else in the chat.
All right, you're right.
Kyle had to get up and go to the bathroom for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my goodness.
I touched my own hiney.
We do have some children that listen to the show.
Like who?
Some of my scouts actually
That's irresponsible parents right there. Irresponsible. Whatever you do, kids, if this offends you, do not listen to the Absolute Geek Podcast.
That is a 21 and over kind of a show. I don't even know if 18 to 21 can handle that.
I'm just kidding.
They have a lot
Mild
of
as
fun.
it gets.
It's as mild as it gets. No, they're fun. Anyway, so
What's our next
Spider-Man.
topic?
That was it. That's the end, man. We always
the
save
end.
the movie for the end. We've been recording for about an hour and a half, so we probably want to wrap it up now.
You haven't even seen Stranger Things yet. Go watch Stranger Things.
I know.
I loved it.
You loved it?
It was great.
Good. I'm excited.
I don't want to put any. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I haven't.
I don't want to put any ideas in your head. So
I appreciate that.
Well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
I should hopefully be done by then. Yeah, we still need to figure out what we're going to do because both of us are busy on that Saturday, and Tyler can't record either, and everyone's busy. So we're going to
look at you guys having lives.
I know, right? I know.
So in 2 weeks, we'll talk about Stranger Things.
Sounds good. All right, we should be done.
So don't listen to the Absolute Geek from Friday then.
I won't.
No, listen to Absolute Geek.
Because we just went all out and talked about it.
Oh, good.
Oh, you're saying your last episode you went all in?
Yeah.
Yeah, Max.
The one we
don't
just
listen to
recorded the
that.
other day.
But
Dang,
do
I wish I
listen
would've been on that episode.
Do listen to their episode if you want to hear some about Stranger Things. Anyway, so let's close it up. So let's talk about our scores. Obviously, Kyle, you're not going to be able to give a score to Spider-Man since you haven't seen it. But if you want to give one anyway, just for fun, out of 5, what's your score for Spider-Man Far From Home based on the trailers?
I'm giving it out of 5.
Yes.
And what Matt has told me and our discussion about it, I think a 3.5.
Okay, 3 out of 5.
A 3.5.
So Mike from Grizzled Geek gives it a 4.5. Okay, what about you, Lance?
Well, Spider-Man is probably my favorite Marvel character of all time, as you can tell by all the toys I have behind me. There's Spider-Man right there. But I love Spider-Man. So anytime a movie comes out with him, like I get super excited, and so I might be looking at it a little bit with rose-colored glasses, but I would give it a 4.5. And it's almost a 5, but 5s are like really hard to get in my book, I guess.
Really?
Matt gives it a 9.8.
Wow.
So that's 2 sofas, 2 couches. But yeah, 5s are kind of hard for me to give. So I would give it a 4.5. And really, what put it over the top is that J.K. Simmons reveal at the end, and the fact that it kind of reveals Spider-Man's alter ego as Peter Parker.
I'm going to really quickly use, hopefully he's okay with me saying this, but Sam kind of gave us a cool rating method he likes to use. And I'm going to use it really quick to rate Spider-Man. So he says he rates it on how much money he'd be willing to spend. Darn it, now I'm not finding it.
Leave it to Sam to think.
1 star, you have to pay me to see this movie. 2 stars, I wish I didn't pay to see this movie. 3 stars, I'm glad I paid to see the movie. 4 stars, I will pay to see this movie again. 5 stars, I cannot pay enough to see this movie. So on that rating scale, I'd give it a 4. I will definitely pay to see it again. I literally did pay to see it again yesterday because I thought my
Kyle
wife
paid nothing to see it.
Yeah. So here's what happened. Yesterday, I wanted to go to the movies really bad. I had a really long week. I had a night where I worked until like 11:30 at night just because I was so slammed. Really busy week. And so I was like, I just need to go to the movies and just relax. And so yesterday I bought a ticket to go see Spider-Man because I thought my wife wanted to see Stuber with me and she just didn't really want to get out of the house. So I was going to go by myself. And then she was like, no, it's okay. I don't need to see Stuber in theaters. Just go see it. So then I refunded my ticket to go see Spider-Man and went and saw Stuber because I wanted to see something new. Anyway, I do plan on seeing Spider-Man again in theaters. So I on that, I'd give it a 4. I wouldn't give it a 4.5 personally. It was very, very good. Obviously, I mean, a 4 to me is a very, very good movie. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but just wasn't quite up there with some others.
Well, I can tell you this. Basically these characters go off of a trilogy type thing, right? And if they get Craven for the next one, that may be a 5 for me because I think that's going to be awesome.
I think Craven would be cool. I think Craven would be really cool, but I also have to say that I really hope that Spider-Man sticks around in the MCU and that Sony keeps him involved or even just sells him back or whatever. Because I would love to see Tom Holland and Doc Ock like Tom Holland Spider-Man against Doc Ock, you know,
This-
because
here's
it's been 2 decades almost now since we've seen
Yeah.
Doc Ock.
If they kind of went the route of showing that there's a multiverse and some of these actors can play these characters again.
Mhm.
I can't, like, Alfred Molina to me was the perfect Doc Ock. I don't want to see anybody else in that role. Kyle, could you agree?
Yeah, I agree with
He's
you.
fantastic, dude.
Yeah.
He's what makes the second movie.
I think he was fantastic too, but I think you could have another actor do it just as well.
I would love to see him do it again, because I don't think that them killing him off in the second one and not getting another movie with him eventually in it. I mean, I feel like he has so much more he can do with that character.
Well, I think it'd be fun to see him. I also think you're reading into the multiverse thing way too much just because J.K. Simmons was cast again. I don't think that means multiverse at all.
Patton Oswalt as Doc Ock.
That's got to be a joke. I love Patton Oswalt. Plus, he's already in the MCU. He's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's like got 60 clones.
I think Patton Oswalt would be awesome as the Penguin.
Yeah, that could be fun. That
What do you
could be
think,
a fun
Kyle?
casting.
I could see it, but I think there's a.
Just let Danny DeVito do it again.
That's true.
I kind of like the fact that we're not going to see the same people do it. Because I'm terrible at. I could never have the job of picking people to be in movies because I suck at it. I can truly never picture that person playing that role until I actually see him. Like,
Yeah,
I pretty much just want Zac Efron.
Lance is pretty good. There was an episode we did a little over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago now, when it first came out. We did a fan casting for the next one, and he was right
dude,
on like
I got
out of
like
7 or something like that.
75% of them right, dude.
Yeah, no, Lance was like spot on with a
I
lot
don't know
of
what
them.
about fan castings, dude. Like, I love doing fan castings, and most of the time I get it right.
Wait, who
like,
would have ever thunk of this? There's like 10 lists about this from our list master, Lance.
But if Taron Egerton gets Wolverine, that'll be like my height of success, dude, because I've been championing this for 3 years, bro. Like,
yeah, no, you have.
Ever
That's
since
why when you texted me about it earlier, I was like, dude, have we not talked about this on the show enough?
Ever since the first Kingsman came out, I'm like, this dude needs to play Wolverine.
No, he's a good pick. He's definitely a good pick.
And if they cast him, dude, they might as well.
Wolverine.
Taron Egerton,
Who's that?
the Kingsman.
The main character, Kingsman. Eggsy.
Oh.
Elton John.
You think he'd be a good Wolverine? I don't think he'd be a good Wolverine.
I just think he's a fantastic actor, and he has the height. He has like that square jawline. I think he can pull off the grizzled look if he maybe doesn't shave for a few
I liked
months.
it when he was trying to learn how to ski.
Eddie the Eagle. Max, did I see that one with you?
No, I haven't seen that one yet. I want to, but I haven't gotten around to it.
He's just a good actor, man. I mean, and he's young, so they can have him in the role a long time. So, but I digress. We don't need to get further down that rabbit hole.
All right, well, cool. I think that'll do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us last minute there, Kyle. It was fun to have you on.
I tried to get Lance. I was like, "Are you guys? You guys are recording tomorrow? What time?" And fucking, sorry,
We didn't know.
Lance goes silent crickets.
He was crickets with me last night. I mean, that's why we didn't record, because he was crickets. I'm just kidding. He was sick.
I was super sick. Like, so sick. And then Corbin was supposed to be on last night, but I was sick, so we didn't have the show. And then he was going to be on today, and now he's sick. And then I don't know. It's just been a mess this weekend. And then Sam is studying for his LSAT, so he's kind of going to be MIA for a few weeks. And then Tyler is finishing up school for the next 2 months, so we told him to take a break. So we're going to have a lot more room for guest appearances coming up here, Kyle. So
it's all good. You've got the MVPs here with Lance and I anyway. So
I've been on Absolute Geek how many times, Kyle? Like 6 or 7?
A bunch of times.
Yeah, a bunch of times. I might as well be part of your guys' show too.
Anytime, you know that.
I know.
Both you guys got an open invite. Anytime you guys want to come on.
I'll have to come on sometime. That'll be fun to hang out with you guys.
And talking about this stuff is just so much fun. So I'll go on anybody's show. We've been on with Mike a few times from the Grizzle Geek. We've been on with Absolute Geek. We've been on Comic Exposure. So the read a comic book, Anthony and Paul, like it's just fun little community of podcasters that we've made.
Yeah.
So
I was on a podcast out, I think I'm feeling bad. I can't remember where they're at, but Tennessee, I believe, the JKK podcast. I was on their show about a month or two ago. They're pretty cool. We still need to have them on.
Yeah.
I just met this podcaster online, and she was saying, "Hey, I'm starting a podcast." And I'm like, "Hey, I'd love to be a guest, and you can be on ours." And he doesn't have power to make that offer.
Are you guys reading what Matt's writing?
Yeah, he doesn't have the power to make that offer.
I do have the power.
If you guys don't listen to Absolute Geek, they are a ton of fun. These guys,
that's right, dude. That's why we barely ever talk about what I think we're going to talk about and end up talking about something else.
No, it's all good. Well, that's how you guys are in Absolute Geek.
It's so laid
out.
And,
yeah.
You feel like you're sitting right there with them. So it's a good show to listen to.
I think it's a bit fun.
I loved when you guys were trying to get blocked on Twitter. That was a ton of fun.
And it worked.
Who was that guy again? I can't remember his name now.
Rob Liefeld.
He did block you guys.
Yeah, he blocked you guys.
He blocked all of us except Brian.
Yeah. And then I think I put a comment on your guys' Facebook one day saying you guys should create new accounts and try to get blocked again on the show.
And we even made shirts that say that we got blocked by them.
That's right. I saw those. Yeah.
Are those shirts available for sale, Kyle?
We are setting up with the person that does our shirts. We're setting up a store so that everybody can go and order the shirts. Yeah, they will be available to buy.
Yeah, that's one I'm going to pick up, I think. The Blocked by Liefeld.
That was a fun inside joke to be a part of because that was pretty darn funny.
Well,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Matt walked around Phoenix Fan Fusion almost the whole weekend with wearing that shirt.
And we wondered why he declined our interview at San Diego Comic-Con next week.
Yeah. By Sunday, we were like, Matt, you might want to change your shirt. It's smelling kind of rank over here.
All right. Well, anyway, that'll do it for us. So as usual, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media platforms. Check us out on couchcrunchers.com. We've got articles going up pretty regularly. We got a Stuber review up there right now. And check out Absolute Geek. Thanks again, Kyle, for joining us.
I'm glad you guys let me.
Yeah, no, it's fun. We did the same thing with Mike from Grizzled Geek one time where he was in the chat and we had him come on and it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. So anyway, until next time, nerds out.
Night, guys.